welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm husband Glenn.
Yep, he said it. I'm not going to.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell notification. Welcome back to another episode of us, Jack and Glenn, as we talk about Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Season 10.
Season 10.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
The L word.
The L word.
Wow, the L word. Hey, these 2 hours are getting a little bit, it's exciting. They saved like some of the best parts towards the end, but this episode was a little bit different because we saw a different aspect from all the couples.
Yeah.
We saw something different from every one of the couples that was involved, from all 5 couples. So let's get started. Who you want to start with today?
All right, we're going to start with Austin and Jessica. Right?
Austin and Jessica.
Yeah.
And Austin and Jessica, they really ain't got much. I mean, the biggest thing in their situation, the biggest thing in their relationship right now is that she believes that Austin, well, she asked Austin the question. Everybody got a card from the experts. Got a card from experts. And, you know, talking about love, dealing with the L word, dealing with love. And so she asked Austin, how long did it take you ever to say, I love you to someone? And he was like, I think it take about a year. He said he'd been in a relationship for 3.5 years and all that. But he said it would take about a year for him to say, I love you to a person. Mm-hmm. And her face was like, didn't really come into an argument, but she was kind of like, ooh, wow.
Ooh, a year, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
I think they forget, this is an experiment. It's not like your average, like normal people who are dating may take them a little bit longer to say, I love you. You know, this is an 8-week experiment and they're waiting for people to say, I love you within 8 weeks. Even though you're married, they're waiting for them to say, I love you in 8 weeks. They may not get to that in 8 weeks that I love you. Right. You know, look how long it took Deanna to tell Greg that she loved him. It took a while. Right. You know, and so, and they can't compare themselves to other people's relationships. They got to realize this experiment, let us, as Dr. Pastor Cal always says, let us grow to love. Right. And I think that's the misconception that they're having. Right. But I do think from the behaviors they displayed or the actions they displayed in the episode and other episodes that they're getting there. And later on in the episode when Jessica and Austin go to the batting cage, she's telling him, just drive, I'll tell you when. Where am I going? She says, give me 15 minutes. Where am I going? Just drive, we'll get there. And he said he was a baseball player for like 20 years. He played baseball in college. And she took him to the batting cages. She took him to the batting cages. Maybe something she wouldn't normally do, but she knew that he would appreciate it. So they're doing those kind of loving things. She comes home from work or she was getting ready for work. And I think she said, you know, I might have a long day or whatever. No, they were getting ready to go to bed, I think it was. And he was like, did you see what I did? And she's like, what? Look, and she looks on the nightstand and there's her charger. Right. Like, so he took the time. He's like, man, like I almost hurt myself trying to get back there to plug that charger up. But I plugged it up and she was like, oh, you know, so they're doing loving things to each other. And Jessica is she's kind of feeling that way. I know it's early. We're talking about 2.5 weeks. Say it. She loves him. She said it. She said, I love him, but I don't want to say it first. That's what I was about to say. Her thing was, I don't want to say it before him. But you may feel it before him, so go ahead and say it. Somebody has to initiate it. So when you say I love you, that's how you feel. Yeah. Right? And that other person has the opportunity to say I love you back, and they may say I like you strongly or whatever the case may be. It's not that there's a failure because they don't say I love you back. Right. They just haven't reached that point yet. Right. And you have reached that point before someone else that I love you. You know, she likes his butt and all that, but I love you. Yeah, you know? She talked about his butt at the batting cage. She was like, I look, you know, and yeah. You know, but it was like they talked about love languages too. Don't want to mess that up. They talked about love languages and, you know, terms of affirmation and service. You know, and for him, physical touch. Yeah. He was like, that's why I always like to hug you. Hug you. I like hugging you. I like touching you. I like hugging you. Anyway, and so then they have a whole conversation in the bed. Like, she says, my money's on you saying it first. And the whole time, I'm like, you want to say it. Just say it. You want to say it. Yeah, so you're going to be the first one, Jessica. Yeah, no drama with them. Just go ahead and say it. They're like so smooth sailing. I can't imagine something taking them off the rails.
I mean, anything can happen. This season's been out of control so far.
But the directors may try to give us something off the rails, but I don't think they would be off the rails. I think they just so evenly matched, if you want to say it that way.
Right.
Evenly matched well, you know. So let's go to Zach and Mindy.
Zach and Mindy.
They had a walk with the dogs. They had their own car. They got there. Zach came over to the house. They went out to walk the dogs in the park. And got back to the love, and she was like, "Do you want to move in? What we gonna do?" Well, I came here for the experiment, but I'm not doing the experiment. I'm doing myself. And he tried to talk, but again, it went in circles.
Yeah, because she asked about their love question on the card. How do you receive love? How long does it take you to express love? To get into a love situation. And he basically gave her the answer, like kind of like the growing in love and getting to know, but it was like round. My grandmother used to say round and round the whirly wiggle waggle. I don't even know what that is for real, but he went around it. Robin Hood's barn, the mulberry bush, pick one. Zach did it. And even in the midst of the talking, he's like, "Hey, dog, come back here, dog." And he got up.
He avoided her. He avoided her question to go focus on the dog that wasn't running away. The dog was playing in the water. It's like he didn't want to answer her question like, "Do you want to move it?" Basically, she asked him, "Are you going to move in with me and do this experiment?" And he paid more attention to the dog than her. And she was looking like, "Dog, Mindy, how much more do she have to go through?" At this point,
and that's what she said. She was like, I don't want to be pushy to him, but I do want to push for where I am. She's in a conundrum. I want to be pushy, but I don't want to push him away.
Has there ever been a person that needed to put on another episode? It's her.
Oh yeah.
I think she has totally wasted her time.
Yeah.
With this show.
Yeah.
That if they ever do a revisit or need to put somebody else
another Married at First Sight, Second Chance.
Yeah, something like that. And she needs to be the one that goes on because this relationship with her is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we already know for decision day what it's gonna be.
Yeah, anything.
I can't see it being anything else, but nah.
I can see him saying yeah. I can see him saying again.
Oh, he sucks.
But his sister, he talks to his sister.
I loved the conversation with his sister.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He talks to his sister and she basically tells him like, you need to grow up, be a man. You signed up for this, you did this, go and live with your wife. That's what marriage is all about.
Right.
She basically like put her foot up his butt. Like, this is what you need to do and this is what you need to take care of. And we'll see if he does it or not. And
she really talked to him. I'm glad he called his sister. And his sister is very sensible. Yeah. And she really talk to him from Mindy's perspective. How do you think she feels? I think she feels lonely. Mm-hmm. She's in it by herself. You opted not to move into the house. It's like you're not in it all the way. So I think she feels lonely. Think about her side.
Yeah.
Think about how she feels.
And I think that's what the problem sometimes. Sometimes people in general, not just in this TV experiment, this show, sometimes you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. How do they feel? And when we get to Brandon and Taylor, I want to talk about that a little bit more. But how do we get into putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and looking from their viewpoint and looking from their perspective,
right? And
getting it from their eyes,
right?
Right.
So yeah, Lisa, Zach's sister, really helped. I hope helped him to do that, and she reminded him to stop overthinking. Had the experts talked to you about overthinking? Mm-hmm.
Which gave me the point. That's why he talks in circles, because he's always trying to analyze everything he says, and he wants to come off on TV a certain way. I think he's an intellectual guy, but the way that he tried to portray himself, the way that he want to come off, makes him talk in circles. Yeah. He doesn't want to be wrong.
Yeah. But he is wrong.
He is wrong. Yeah, he is wrong. But he doesn't want to come off as wrong, but he is wrong. So that was going on with them most of the time. Katie and Derek, still the same issue. The love. She wants to be loved, and he I've never been heartbroken.
He said, I've been the heartbreaker.
I've been the heartbreaker.
And she said that's one thing that she's afraid of, because she's been the heartbroken one.
Yeah, and she's scared that he's going to break her heart. And, but she wants him to love her, but at the same time, she don't want her heart to be broken. Because if he says he loves her and that decision day, they don't stay together, she heartbroken again. And so it's like, do you want him to tell you I love you just for the sake of saying I love you? Or do you really want him to be invested into the relationship and let him to grow to love you so it's genuine, not just because it's something that you want to hear? And I think she can't differentiate the two because you just don't want to hear it. You want him to... Love is the action word. I don't want to just hear it. I want you to show it, do it, and be involved in it and not just say it. And I think she just wants him to say it and not actually do everything that goes with the word love.
Well, see, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. It's not that she wants him to say it. She wants him to feel it. Because what she said was she's been in relationships where she's been all in and she's been feeling it. And the other person that she felt like might have been all in and was feeling it wasn't.
Yeah, but I think he's all in though. He's doing the
but I mean, steps. Feeling the same way.
But it takes a time. Everybody's different. It takes them minutes to get to that point. And she.
But that's a block for her. It does take a minute, but that's a block for her. Cause let's go back. She said again in the previous episode, I would hate to have gone into this and for it to fall apart and not be what I expect. When even though it took me going on this show for the other guy, when I had somebody that was there with me.
Yeah, but he only told her he loved her because she was going on the show.
I know. I said even though it's the pressure, but sometimes pressure busts pipes.
Yeah.
Pressure makes diamonds, and so he might have been like, "Ooh, I'm about to lose the best thing I had," and it took him to see her going through this to be like, that could be it. I mean, he probably sucks too, but but I'm just saying, for some people it takes that like, ooh, when your back is up against the wall, then you're like, dang, this is a good woman, and I'm about to lose her.
And I think, I mean, even in that sense, Derek's still a good guy. I think he's getting there, and they're learning to have a conversation. I think she just needs to be patient. I think they need more dialogue. I think as preview next week's episode where they have to do these different activities that the experts give them, I think that will open their relationship up a little bit more and allow him to get connected and feel the love. It's not a tingling sensation in his toes that he talked about with his dad last week.
Yeah, but in the car he said he got butterflies.
He got butterflies. So which it brings it over a period of time that love develops, and I think she has to understand it's going to be development, and it may be through the 8 weeks. But guess what? The relationship may be good. It's okay for you guys to be friends. Y'all were strangers, so it may take 8 weeks to develop that friendship, so that friendship can grow in love.
Yeah.
You know, and so not like you told me you loved me the first time you met me.
I didn't. I absolutely didn't.
Girl, I knew you would be my wife. Anyway,
but I do want to, since we talked about, just real quick, and not to harp there, I thought it was cute how they went to the aerial acrobatics. Yeah. Which it was awkward. Both of them felt awkward. Derek trying to get in this hammock, and Katie trying to get her little short leg up in there. But they had fun together. And she said he did the nerdy little dorky little upside down kiss. And she says, I could do nerdy and dorky. And while he was in his hammock, she went and gave him the upside down kiss. Little sweet stuff like that.
But that builds relationship. Yeah. That builds the character. Y'all can always sit back and remember those moments of the good times that you had. And that builds love by just doing things with each other. And they share moments. Sharing moments to continue to build into the love. And I think that's what key for Derek and Katie, that they need to continue to have those moments where it continue to blow in love.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw this in there too, because we're going to contrast this to one of the other couples. So Derek and Katie have a conversation about her health insurance and how she dropping her health insurance. And he says, I checked into it and I can add my wife to my health insurance. For me, during this experiment, that's a bit much.
That's not a bit much. That's love though.
Nah, I feel like that's a bit much, because once you... she's going to be on there. The only thing that can take her off your health insurance is if we get divorced.
But maybe that's his way of telling her, you know what? I'm invested in this. I love you and I want to be there. Because whether they get a divorce or not, and it may take a year to get divorced, I don't know what the rules is in D.C., she'll have health insurance based off of him. Because this is a legal marriage, right?
Yeah.
When people get married, and whether it's an 8 weeks experience or not, guess what? For these 8 weeks, I just believe that if I was on the show, our 8 weeks, our bank accounts will come together. Our insurance will come together. Our payment of bills will come together for these 8 weeks because we're married. I would go on a show treating it as if we're married and everything would be as married. We would stay in the same apartment. We would live we would sleep in the same bed. We would cook the same meals. And so if you want to play, they're not playing house. They're married.
I know, but I just feel like for the health insurance thing, I probably would do that at the end, like at the end of the 8 weeks, where I know you're going to be around for a minute.
No.
That's just me for the health insurance. But that's because I'm a nurse and because I worked in health insurance and I know how all that works. That's why I'm like, there's a lot. And she's got a pre-existing condition. Mm-hmm. So she going to be using a lot of the insurance. That's how I think. But that's just me. Because I feel like that's how I feel. Sorry.
But that's communication though. But he's willing to do that as her husband because shows that investment in the marriage. Now, not like he took a life insurance policy, which I think they should. Life insurance policy
no, sir.
And they die.
Listen, I'm not. See, why I open a can of worms?
Life insurance, anything can happen within 8 weeks. I mean,
who we going to next?
Let's go to
Mika and Michael.
While we talking about communication. Mika and Michael.
Yes.
Look, it started off with them doing well. She's taking her hair out. And, I've been there. You're like, can you help me take my hair out? Here's a scissors. Don't cut my hair. Trust, brothers. Look, hold on. No. Brothers, I've been there. Know how it is. And when you got those scissors in your hand and you're so nervous because I cut this hair. I cut above where I need to cut just to make sure I don't cut any hair because that goes into an argument. So if you ever helping your girlfriend, wife, or significant other take out their hair, please be careful. Now,
but I want to know, the only thing I want to stress with that is, this is, and I hope nobody takes it the wrong way, this is the typical African American couple experience. You will help me take my braids out. You will help me take my tracks out. You might have to braid my hair. So for me, I thought that was cute. I was like, because for real, this is what...
She didn't want him to do it. She was nervous.
she was nervous, but because he said, I've done it before. He said he's done it before, but he had to find the string, the thread. So some of y'all might not, might have missed that. But this is what we go through. He's had to help me take my braids out plenty of times.
Over 18 years.
Take my, almost 19. So we do that. He do the little girl's hair. He's done my girl's hair, our girl's hair before. Because it's both by you. That's true. But anyway, so I thought that was cute. They got a minute there to bond over hair, and they said, well, maybe we'll get to, do some more hair bonding. You can sit down and watch a movie where I help you take your hair out. They also, fast forward a little bit, they had some bonding time where they went for the pedicures. Yeah. Okay, how often do you get your pedicures? I go like once a month. And so Michael was like, well, maybe we could do this a bi-weekly thing. We're going to go get our feet done. And she talked about his feet
she peeked down
on the low.
She peeked at his feet like, ooh.
He was like, what you got to say? She was like, nothing. I ain't going to say nothing. He said, I think you're not going to say nothing because it ain't going to be positive. She's like, no, I ain't saying that. And then off camera, basically, she said his feet look like he been through the fire.
She said it looked like he been through the field. She gave a color purple reference. In other words, as I mentioned in the host, it's the end of Black History Month. She looks at like basically
been running through the woods.
He been running through the woods for freedom type feet. He been running through the woods, so that's what his feet look like. But I want to go back to the hair piece because there was a good moment there with the hair, but then it became it took a wrong turn.
It did. It
goes back to communication. It took a wrong turn because Michael shared with her that he's not accepting a job as a principal. He turned that down, and that he's going to take another job as a director. Which depends on what school you work at. Those words are kind of the same. Mm-hmm. And Michael being in special education, I just believe that he works in either alternative school or a charter school or private school in the DC area. Mm-hmm. Where sometimes in private schools they don't call them, when you deal with special education population, they don't call them principals, they call them directors. Mm-hmm. But one thing she was like, you got an offer sheet. Now, we live in the state that we live in is a free will state, free employment state. They don't have to accept the offer if you sign it. And both parties can agree and you get there day one, they say, you know what, we don't want you. Or the budget changed or something that's taken place. So we are in that type of state as well. Where I'm not sure about DC, but during that time period from the honeymoon to where they're at now, things could have changed.
Right.
The agreement could have changed. They told him they're going to pay him one thing, and by the time he got there, is not what the payment was, or the amount he was going to make, or the atmosphere didn't seem right.
And what he said was, my job duties will be more than what they initially told me. And that, everybody knows that happens. Sometimes you get on a job and then you find out, wait, I got to do that too? And I got to do that?
And but it sounded like he was saying it, so he was like, I don't want it to be that, because the situation I'm in with you, I want to be able to spend time with you.
That's what he basically said.
That's what I was taking, and she couldn't read between the lines. Between that, I took it as, hey, I don't want my duties to change. In other words, I'm changing jobs because of our relationship and because of where we're at. He was trying to have a moment, and she wasn't trying to feel that at all, because she was stuck on the fact.
You lied. I feel like you lied. I feel like he lied. Here he go lying again. How do you have an offer one day and you supposed to start on Monday, and now you don't have an offer? You took it back, and now you don't have that. You started something else, and still on Monday.
Yeah, and so we had the discussion. Should he have told Mika that he was trying to change the job?
I feel like he was telling her right there. The conversation that we had too was more so that they're in this 8-week experiment together. I don't have to look to you to make major decisions on my life changes 2.5 weeks in. That's how I felt. I felt like the conversation he would have had about it, he was having it with her right then. He didn't have to ask her, hey, what you think about this? Because he said it later, I don't trust your opinion. I don't know you that well.
I don't know you
I'm not going to let you in on some of them things. I'm not going to let your opinion make my decision at this point. And I'm not mad at him for that.
I'm not mad at him for that, but I was saying there was some kind of conversation. Should have been like, you know what, this is what's happening with my job.
That was the conversation.
But no, because he had already accepted the new job. So I'm saying before then, when he found out, okay, give me time to think about it. Maybe it was a rush decision. He didn't have time to think about it. He was like, oh, boom, I just quit. I mean, I'm just saying, in that aspect, you'll be like, you know what, let me try to share, because you try to grow with her. So in other words, she already called you a liar beforehand. So I'm trying to open up. I'm talking about building a relationship and building that trust with the one that I'm married with. That's why I'm saying he should have communicated, not that her swaying the job, because like, this is what I want to try to do. You know, this is what I'm planning on doing. They rescinded the offer prior to him taking her hair out. So to me, it seemed like this has been a couple of days that he knew this, I'm just gonna pop it on her today because. But
I mean, it's par for the course, because when they were on the honeymoon and he was like, I'm gonna be starting a new job as a principal, she was like, well, dang. He hadn't talked to her, but he didn't. Like
day 2 of the honeymoon.
I know, but the thing is, she said she had no. She found out with everybody else.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But it wasn't
so that's par for the course. I wouldn't expect him to tell her until the decision was made that I'm not going.
Yeah. So she called my man a liar the whole episode.
Oh my god.
The whole episode, she was like,
she gonna call him a liar the whole season.
Yeah, that he's a liar. Everything that Michael does is a lie. He doesn't. And then, you know, the biggest thing is when she I won't say attacked him.
Yeah.
While they sat on the couch while they doing their card, it's like, you know, what's your love length? I can't remember the exact.
Have you been in love before?
Yeah, have you been in love before?
I think it was what was your longest. I don't know if it was what was your longest relationship, but have you been in love? How that worked? And so he answers the question about love, and then she was like, "Well, the biggest thing with me is honesty."
Yeah, she took back.
We wasn't even asking what's input. The question wasn't, and it should be. I mean, you know, you can talk about that, but the question on the table wasn't what's most important for you in a marriage. That was not the question, or in love. That wasn't the question.
No.
And I felt like she used that as an opportunity that I'm getting ready to get this. I'm about to tell this joke about himself.
Yeah, and he just shut down on her again. He shut down on her. And
I was uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable for the fact that his family members keep telling you, when you push him, he's going to shut down and not give you the answer. And we saw Michael, he rolled his ring, he rolled his eyes.
That's the part that made me uncomfortable. I was like, bruh, how long are we...
And then,
so you're gonna sit there for 5 minutes, you're not gonna say.
And then
you ain't gonna say
Lifetime doesn't help because they play that music like, you know, they don't help at all.
No, they keep flipping the camera back and forth. I was like, I really want to know how long did this awkward silence really last?
Yeah.
Cause I'd be like, bro, you ain't gonna speak up, say something.
But you know, but he fought. But I like what he did afterwards. He sat down, had dinner, had lunch, and
Well, even right there, before that, I mean, he fixed it. But right there, he was like, I don't know you that well.
I don't know you that well. Yeah, we don't trust you. And
you're a stranger. I don't. So it's some things I prefer to keep to myself because I don't know you that well. So and that's what it is.
Yeah, but he's trying to open up. He's trying to build a relationship. That's how he feels. I can't negate his feeling. So they go to lunch. He brings her some candy in a box, candy that he thinks she likes, because he ain't 100% sure. And
it's more so that he thinks she can eat, because we've seen now Mika has gotten braces since we've been doing since Married at First Sight's been on. She's gotten braces.
She got her insurance straight.
And so he's like, I got you some stuff. I kind of peeped your candy before I know you. She was like, I like all candy. Mm-hmm. He was like, but I wanted to get you something that you could actually eat, a whole big box full.
And it took her a minute to say thank you. And I'm sitting here like, if this lady don't say thank you. He wasn't happy about that. He was like, I'm like, if she don't say thank you or say I appreciate it or
how sweet
it is. But towards the end of it, they got their stuff together because they became a counselor. They became counselors. Which is surprising to me. Like, yo, you asking
I think that's funny too.
Yeah, you asking a couple that had like honeymoon had like major issues to be y'all counselor. These are y'all who y'all connect to. But anyway, with that couple, Mika and Michael, I think they were up and down just like they normally are doing an episode. But the couple that gets the Donkey of the Day, I'm still left from Charlemagne. Donkey of the Day award or Donkey of the Episode award.
Yeah, it's Brandon and Taylor.
Brandon and Taylor.
Taylor and Brandon.
Taylor and Brandon. Brandon and Taylor. These two right here, both of these cats are childish.
Oh my God.
They are childish. And I mean, and I say childish in a way that he's moving in. He's in their apartment. They show a clip of him playing video games in the dark, her sitting on the couch, whatever the case may be. Then the two come together and have a conversation. She's sitting there.
They have their card.
They have their card. They're talking about it. And, previous episode, remember, they're gonna hit the reset button.
That's what they said.
But she keeps bringing up Panama. And he's trying. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You seem like you're not there. Seem like your walls are up. Seem like your walls are up now. Seem like you're having an attitude. And I'm not faulting her for having a wall up. Right. But I do have a problem with if we we're going to hit the reset button, let's work on trying to get this thing together. Right. Now, when I put a wall up, it may take a time for that wall to come down, but because the more we work on it, the more the wall should come down. But it seems like these two are not letting anything go there, and he's trying. I can say in this episode, Brandon is trying.
Yes, I feel like he was too, and she like really wasn't, and she was missing what he was saying. So they're talking about their love languages and their love history or whatever. And Brandon's talking about how he likes affection. He's affectionate. He liked it when they were affectionate from the beginning. And I mean, she's really close. Her posture is closed. The way she's asking the questions is like, I'm just asking it because it's on this card. And, she asked him a question and he was like, I don't know. And so she gives her answer and he was like, yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of. And she was like, he never has anything creative to say. He's always piggybacking off of what I say. But what he said to her is I'm trying to follow your vibe. I'm feeling your vibe. And especially since they went through the thing that they went through in Panama. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, I'm trying to follow your lead. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to follow your lead and figure out what's what. And I understand that because he messed up real bad. And so I'm trying to go where you go. If you feel comfortable with it, I'm good with it. But I don't want to be pushy because then you're gonna have a problem with me being pushy, trying to push yourself.
It's like most things. He said in most relationships, when I'm into somebody, I'm into them. And I think she kind of offended because you're not into me like that. But you're being standoffish. And I think what happens in relationships and when marriages and even couples relationships, that when there is an argument or there's a blow up, people don't know how to recover.
Right.
They don't know how to come back. You find yourself walking on eggshells, or you find yourself, tiptoeing around a situation, or you're that person that every little thing that the other person does
sets you
off or irritates you. Mm-hmm. Instead of sitting down and watching it out, okay, we starting fresh, let's start over, cool, and let's do this thing and move on. Some people are, can hang on to things a little bit longer. I just being transparent in our relationship. I'm the one that something happens, in like 5-6 minutes, or not even that, 5-6 seconds, I'm like, okay, let's move on. It happened, it's done, let's not waste the whole day. Whatever the case may be.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying. But there's just some people who...
what are you trying to say?
There's some people that may hang on, but I understand that. So you just give them their space. And so Brandon has his space in his room. She's mad about him not coming out and engaging in conversations or staying in his room. She mad, he said, I try to come out, but I don't know how to feel. It's like he's playing double dutch. You don't know when to jump in. So
I ain't gonna let that ride. I'm not gonna let that ride. But I'm not the type of person, like, I'm not gonna stew all day. Let's be clear. But when I'm mad in that moment, I am mad, and I do need a minute. I don't want to go eat right now. No, don't ask me, do I want to go eat? No, I don't want to go outside. Not right now. I'm mad. Right. But I don't stay mad.
No, and that's
because eventually I want him to go downstairs and get me something to drink.
You're gonna ask me for something, right?
I'm gonna want my back scratched.
But they haven't got to that point yet in relationships where they're comfortable enough to share that, and so and Taylor's always into her phone, and that's one of the biggest issues. When we're having attention and we're having conversation, you got to be able to be in tune with the other person.
Right.
We're in a society where everybody want to look at their phone, look at the tablet, iPad, whatever case may be. He wants eye contact. He wants to be able to have that affection. That's eye contact. That's affection. And that's not watching TV. So he has an issue with that.
And I'm going to tell you, for real, and this, I was irritated. Because it was like, she tried to make it like this. It was this grand gesture. When he came home, she fixed him this big plate of food. She had asparagus. She had, I think, steak, mashed potatoes. She had some shrimp. And, she gives him the plate. And she's like, oh, I made dinner. We can sit down and talk and everything. And I felt like it was a show. They sat at the table and she's sitting there taking pictures of her food. So did you fix it for me?
To have conversation?
To have conversation and to smooth things over? Or are you more impressed with, dang, I fixed this plate. I made this plate.
Like, she did too much. She had her earbuds in.
She did.
Some people say, some people say she might have somebody listening in the call. Well, I don't know. I don't know what she did. But she wasn't in tune to Brandon, which, he decides, this ain't for me. He takes his plate. And I wish they would have showed what happened to that plate.
Because we absolutely thought
he would take that plate and chuck it in the trash.
It looked like he had that salad plate going to the trash. I'm like, bro, please don't be that mad.
Yeah, at least don't throw the good food away.
But that's like real disrespectful. I was like, please don't. We be back in
I think if you'd have threw it away, they would have had that on camera. It would blow up. So I'm just saying he took it to his room and ate. But then she makes a social media post. She makes a social media post about she like men who are 6'3". She doesn't want no short.
I guess I'm gonna be single all my life.
Single all my life. She like all color type of body parts, penises and things of that nature. At the bottom of the screen if you watch it. So she made a big comment, and then Brandon somehow got wind of it, and he was hot. And, he talked to Michael. Michael shared with Mika. Mika talked to Taylor, and they all met. And Mika was like, yo, basically, you wrong, dog.
Yeah, because once Taylor started explaining it, she was like, I was on a fake group FaceTime with my friends. It wasn't a jab at him. We were just talking. I thought it'd be funny. And Mika on the side, she said she told Taylor this in not so many terms, but on the side, she said, if Michael had done that, I would be livid. Yeah. I'm not mad at Brandon. At first, when Michael told Mika about the situation, she was like, well, you got to see it from her side of you. You never know what happened. But when she heard it from the horse's mouth, she was like, sis.
She was wrong.
You need to apologize. She said you really need to apologize.
She was wrong in Charlotte. If you married, stay married. You're in this thing. You first I like, okay, maybe she's saying she's single because it's the show. They don't want nobody to know.
Yeah, we talked about that.
But nah, that's not it. People know they already been to your wedding. So, you're talking to people. So, you're childish for doing that. You're advertising yourself. Again, goes to Brandon's point. Maybe you're doing this to gain more followers. Maybe you're doing this to flip this to get to another level. I think I said a couple episodes, everybody looking at Brandon being a bad guy. Maybe she really showing us something not on camera and he don't want to spill the beans.
Maybe.
But this right here is childish, very childish for you to say that if you're invested. I know somebody may say maybe she fed up. I think she was fed up since he cussed her out and threw the ring back to her.
Oh yeah.
But if you fed up,
she's real passive. To me, it's passive aggressive at this point.
Yeah, but if you fed up, stay fed up. If you're gonna work it, work it.
Yeah.
Don't be in the middle and say we're gonna work it, but then you do childish things.
Because to me, what was so bad is here you got these experts that are there for you to give you information, and Dr. V calls her, and to me she was rude to Dr. V. She didn't want to hear what Dr. V had to say. Dr. V was like, this and that, and Taylor was like, okay, yeah. So I'm supposed to do da. She was just like really like not trying to hear what Dr. V had to say. She had an attitude.
Like she supposed to bend over backwards. And no, she's
Right.
like, I'm supposed to bend over backwards. He's not, but he's trying. And I can say that one thing that he has tried ever since his big major blow up and talked with his family. His aunt talked to him. I think he really is trying to do the right thing. And so we'll see, preview next week. You're like, basically, I don't want to be married anymore. He said he was like done.
Because in talking to Michael, I gotta say this because I was like, how funny is this? Brandon says to Michael, right now, dog, I feel like we worse off than Zach and Mindy.
Yeah.
He said, I feel like we worse off than Zach and Mindy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which means everybody knows Zach and Mindy ain't living apart, but we in a situation with two strong African American women who are so different, and Mika is just raw, and Taylor is so passive aggressive that it's detrimental to their marriage, and she's not taking the advice. Why have the experts if you're not taking the advice of the experts?
Dr. V talked to her and told her what you need to do, and she like totally ignored.
Yeah.
She said, how do you think it looks to Brandon? You might have been trying to be funny, but look how it looks to Brandon. And she just, her response back, it was ingenuine. It was like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And
it goes back to my point. I said sometimes you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. If Brandon had done that from their perspective, if Brandon had done that to her after the whole Panama thing, like, dog, I ain't gonna be married, I'm gonna be single. I'm looking for all the light skinned 5'6" Coca-Cola bottle shaped women. She would have been hot.
Yes.
And so she would have been mad, like, oh man, I can't believe he did this. And mind you, all the things are built up because she's bent over backwards for him. So I think this post was kind of be funny, but out of frustration. But every joke ain't funny.
It's not. It wasn't funny.
And it was hurtful.
It was so not funny. Brandon cleared his stuff out.
Left the keys on the table.
He left the key and he left the heart.
Yeah, and the heart, the necklace, and he bounced out. He rolled out. So. I know this was a lengthy video that we did. Share your thoughts, man. We want to comment with you. What do you think? Did Brandon overreact? Was Taylor childish? Mika and Michael, should Michael have communicated with Mika before? There's a lot of questions out of this episode that you guys can share. Leave in the comment section below. We'll definitely get to them and answer them. Thank you for all your support. Make sure you continue to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. Thank you for all those who listen to Jackie's song. Thank you very much once again.
Keep listening.
Download it too. We're going to come up with another episode of the Pastor Cal show.
Oh, man. We got caught up. The previews got us stuck.
Yeah, so
I think we're going to do Bride and Prejudice.
So look for that video either later on today or within the next day or two. But we're going to drop that video as well. So thank you very much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Bye.
Bye.